What is up? Welcome back to the 2023 edition of Outside the Top 25. This is replacing your regularly scheduled programming of Tomahawk for this week just because it's the dog days of summer. There's not a ton to talk about. I mean, I had written something about Pierce Johnson being great in his 5 games or so for the Braves.
In the words of Stephen A. Smith, we don't care.
We don't care. I'm joined by Dan Regester. We're talking college football today. This is the Outside the Top 25 college football preview.
A sport that matters with teams that don't.
Goddamn right. I love that.
That's the best part about college football.
Yeah.
That is what they're ruining.
Because there's no joy in
the conference realignment is going to ruin all of this.
Yeah. It's no fun rooting for, like, I'm trying to think, like the Arizona Diamondbacks or the the Carolina Panthers or, some middling NHL team.
I like the Charlotte Panthers.
It should be the Charlotte Panthers. I almost said, or the Charlotte Hornets, for that matter. You know what I mean? Like, it's no fun rooting for any of those teams. But in college sports, there's more fun to root for than
give me that 7-5 season. Give me that 8-4 season.
That 9 wins going into a bowl game, trying to get that double digit.
Nothing better.
Oh boy,
nothing better than winning the Bad Boy Mower Bowl
to get to 10 wins.
Gasparilla.
Yeah. That's what we're here to talk about today. It's our official season preview. Dan Regester is joining me as always. Dan, you wrote this big monster of an outline, so I'm going to let you take it away.
Yeah, we're going to start with the players that we're looking out for.
Now, these are non-top 25 players.
Of course, we can't talk about the top 25.
Right.
Can't talk about them at all. But guys that'll probably show up on the draft boards or just be fun college players.
Right. Maybe impact college players, whatever.
We're going to start with a man who's probably on like his 20th year right now at UTSA. One of my favorites, of course, Frank Harris.
You're a big UTSA guy.
They're going to be good this year, again.
Are they?
Probably.
Like, what are they? I want to see their schedule.
It's not bad.
I want to see who Frank Harris has played for.
What do you mean?
Is he like a transfer dude?
No,
or is
dude. Frank Harris has been at UTSA like the last 4 years.
Okay, he's been there the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, fair enough. That's good.
He's just been there forever.
Yeah. That's legit. That's good for them.
They open up, I think, with like their big games, Houston.
Yes, which last year went into like fucking 5 overtimes or something crazy like that in the Alamo Dome.
It was great. Yeah.
I believe. Yeah. Things shake out for them pretty good on that schedule.
Yeah, I'm telling you, UTSA might be the G5 team that shows up at the New Year Six.
Okay.
Maybe calling my shot. We'll see.
I disagree, but okay.
Another guy that's been at school forever, talked about transferring, but ended up staying. Grayson McCall at Coastal Carolina.
He's got to stay at Coastal.
It just fits.
Yeah, that's
the
him.
vibes.
That's who he is.
It's nothing but vibes.
You got to stay on the fucking teal turf. Don't go transferring away.
Going to the beach bars.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was thinking about going to like a bigger program, maybe having a real shot at a
boo,
maybe like a bigger conference. But no, he's a Coastal guy through and through.
Right.
A man that returns at a school that we're both down on.
Big time down on.
Jalen Daniels. Still think he's a stud, but I think
hurt.
Kansas is going to revert back to what Kansas does.
He's hurt right now.
He's coming back from injury.
His back is still, I think, a little
jacked up,
funky. Yeah.
He's going to play. He's
also
going to try to play this year.
I want to see his game log from the last 6-7 games last year because
he didn't play.
They fell off a cliff
because he didn't play.
What are you talking about? He did play.
Injured. He didn't play all those 6 games. He got hurt. That's the reason they lost. They won that losing streak.
He played against Kansas State on November 26th. He played against Texas. But he played.
But they lost. They went on the losing streak because he got hurt.
Okay. Fine. He did miss a month from October 8th.
Yes.
But he came back.
They started out 6-0. He came back too early. That's why.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
We got Riley Leonard, the dual threat 6'4" quarterback from Duke.
Sure.
Duke's they're gonna surprise some people this year.
It's the ACC. All you need, like the ACC is, there's only like 2 games you got to worry about maybe.
This one's for BT Bates, but also because he's a stud. We got Rocket Sanders at Arkansas.
Yeah, he's dope. Arkansas is always scary.
Juice Wells, senior wide receiver at South Carolina.
It's another team I'm big down on.
Dude, South Carolina's going to be good.
I don't buy it.
I mean, we're both down on Spencer Rattler. But I think we're so down on Spencer Rattler over the last 3 years that He's actually going to surprise us this year.
Okay.
He didn't make my list of players to look out for, though. I don't buy him as a Heisman hopeful, but I do buy him as like a competent quarterback. Especially because he has like Juice Wells, and then he has this dude fucking Nichols Harbor, who's a total freak freshman that they recruited. I've been seeing a lot of comparisons to Kyle Pitts.
Okay.
He's just an athlete. He came in, he was the number 1 athlete in the country. He's probably going to play wide receiver or tight end.
Okay.
I believe
they're like wildly different positions.
He's just, well, if he is a tight end, he's just going to be a receiving tight end.
He's not going to do much blocking.
No.
Okay.
Then we got Frank Gore Jr., of course, at Southern Miss.
Obviously.
Torrey Horton from Colorado State. He's a receiver. He's going to pop some heads. Jarquez Hunter, the running back from Auburn. Jacob Cowan, the receiver from Arizona.
What's he going to do?
What do you mean?
Is Arizona going to complete a pass this year?
Yeah.
Oh, you're high on Arizona this year.
I'm high on Arizona because their quarterback just settled his high school rape charges.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so he's
playing with a clean conscience.
He's going to come back. He wrote that check, and he's starting for Arizona. He's on the Manning list.
Okay.
But he settled in civil court, free and clear, I guess.
Good for him.
Not great.
Paid his debt to society, literally.
To that woman.
Yeah.
Then we got Baron Brown, the receiver from Kentucky. Kentucky's going to low-key have a much better offense this year. Which is weird and funny to say because Will Levis got drafted.
Yeah. Man, it's not hard to have a better offense than last year because their offense was god-awful.
Was this a late addition by you?
Yes, it was.
Brady Cook,
junior QB. I don't know why it's a wide receiver. I think I was just reading the thing above.
I don't think I'm buying Brady Cook as a competent, good quarterback.
No, you said players to look out for. This goes one way or the other, right? So it's really, I wanted to say whoever Missouri's quarterback is, and it's for one reason that like their wide receiver room is fucking insane. Their wide receiver room is 2 5-stars and 3 4-stars.
I get that.
If Brady Cook or anyone else in that role is competent, there's serious trouble.
Is Cook going to start? Is he
He's
slotted as a starter?
He's slotted as a starter right now.
Do you have any upcoming freshmen?
Yeah, we have Sam
sophomores?
Horn, who's a 4-star. He was redshirt freshman.
Cook was so bad.
He apparently his shoulder was hurt all last year.
That's why he couldn't throw?
Yeah.
He could run.
He could run. So and literally, apparently his shoulder was hurt all last year. Also, we didn't have an offensive coordinator last year, which we do this year.
Not ideal.
The guy Kirby Moore from Fresno State.
Yeah.
So a dude who can go high-powered. So if Cook or Sam Horn or Jake Garcia from Miami, if any of those 3 guys come in and throw the ball, like it's essentially like a Kyle Trask at Florida situation, right? Like just don't miss.
Pretty easy.
Yeah.
I actually threw you guys a bone. I had Tyron Hopper, the
That's not throwing a bone. He's insane.
linebacker.
He led Earth in tackles last year. That dude
He's good.
That dude just wraps everybody up.
I know, but I could have easily just kind
Oh, I appreciate
of graced over him.
Appreciate it.
Travis Hunter, sophomore cornerback for Colorado. Deion's recruiting. Deion's getting guys in the transfer portal.
Deion's going to fail miserably at Colorado.
Deion's not going to have a good year this year, but I think Deion long-term is going to be okay.
We'll see. This year's going to be ugly. And he's not going to lose gracefully, and people aren't really going to enjoy that. I'm not necessarily out on Deion as a coach. I just don't like the fit.
And then, dude I'm really high on, safety from Miami, Cameron Kinchins.
Okay.
He's going to be a stud.
Yeah. He's going to be that dude who gets is he a first rounder?
Probably.
I feel like even if he's a second rounder, he's a dude who's going to be good in the NFL, and you're going to be he's maybe really good in the NFL, and you're where'd that guy play? He's dope. Where'd he play?
But I mean,
must have been on Bama or something.
No, he went to the U.
Yeah, and it's just he played on forgettable ass Miami teams.
I might be high on Miami this year. I don't know.
Don't do that to yourself.
Everybody was super high on them last year because
it's not going to happen.
Tyler Van Dyke is back. He didn't have a good year last year, but he's back. He's familiar.
Brady Cook is back.
Van Dyke was good 2 years ago, though.
Okay.
That's the thing.
All right.
All right. Next, we're just going to go through kind of the conference.
The outsiders in
outside
the
the top 25 conference previews, just some quick hitters. The SEC, got to start with South Carolina, I think. They're over under 6.5 wins. Are you kind of fading that right now? It sounds like you're down.
So, yeah, I do want to fade that, which is funny because I think they're going to win their first game against ranked North Carolina.
Yeah. North Carolina's kind of a paper tiger.
Like, I think they win that game and they get ranked, and we're not going to be able to talk about them.
The only reason North Carolina's ranked is because they got Drake May.
Yeah. I think North Carolina loses this game. I'm going to definitely it'll be interesting to see who the favorite is. It actually wouldn't surprise me if South Carolina end up being favored in that game at home.
Yeah.
And a lot of people maybe jumping on UNC or something, seeing the number next to their name.
I mean, Shane Beamer, last 2 seasons, 7-6, 8-5 after taking over a 2-win Muschamp squad. I think he's a good coach. He recruits well. He's a salesman. He just generally is good X's and O's on the field. Like, he gets a lot of talent.
Yeah. I do actually – I'm down on them, but I think the over is pretty easy.
Just going through their schedule.
Yeah.
They open up with UNC. They're at Georgia. They're at Tennessee. They're at A&M. Clemson at home.
Dude,
they're at tough schedule.
They're at Missouri.
It's a tough schedule.
They lost to us last year at home. I don't think they win that Missouri game, to be quite honest. I know what hoodie I'm wearing here, but I think they easily top 6.5 wins. Just looking at the rest of the schedule.
How many interceptions does Spencer Rattler have this year?
See, here's what they got to be scared of with Spencer Rattler is his heat check, right? Because let's say he fucking dices up North Carolina.
He's got talent on offense now.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean his talent on offense doesn't that's not going to affect the interceptions that much, right? Like, he threw 12 last year.
Yeah.
I bet he goes in double digits again. He's going to be throwing a lot. If he's got all that talent, like, he's going to throw a lot. He had by far the most
Does
passing
he at least
attempts of his career last year.
Throw over 20 touchdowns next year? Only had 18
Or this year?
Yeah. Or this year, yeah. Only had 18 last year.
Man, South Carolina's offense was pretty anemic for a while last year. I think he gets over 20 touchdowns.
I'm going to say he's probably got 25 touchdowns. Let's go 3,500 yards.
3,500?
Yeah. Passing. And then maybe, double digits, like 14, 15 interceptions.
Yeah. I think he's going to be about a little over a 2-to-1 ratio on that.
Okay. So are you over or under?
I am over.
I would say over.
Looking at their schedule, it's hard to not
6 losses.
Yeah.
So again, these are regular season over-unders too.
So no bowl game
or conference championship.
Right.
Yeah.
Which South Carolina won't be playing in. So
no. Arkansas is next, over/under 6.5 wins as well.
Now in the SEC West,
you got KJ Jefferson back. Obviously, Rocket Sanders is going to get a healthy dose of carries. You got T. Will coming over from UCF to call the defense, and Bryles is gone, went to TCU. So Dan Enos coming in from Maryland. Is this kind of a make or break year for Pittman?
Yeah, they're not happy with him.
But why? Because again, SEC
this is one of the most
West.
Respect to BT Bates. This is one of the most delusional fan bases on earth. They think that they should be Alabama.
I think Pittman's done a good job. It's just their schedule is always insane.
Yeah, it's always insane. And by the way, they catch. I mean, it's not horrible.
Out of conference is
BYU is,
but they get BYU at home.
Yeah,
they don't have to go to the fucking.
They don't have to go to BYU. This is right on the border of what is it? Also 6.5.
Yeah, but they got to go to LSU. They catch A&M at home. Go to Ole Miss. Go to Alabama. Even going to Florida, I think.
I think that Florida game is going to be sneaky. They could start the year 2-4, and then and I look again. I hate to say this again already, but we are, I guess, in the conference that Missouri's in. They never beat us. They lose to Missouri most of the time.
It's in Fayetteville.
That hasn't mattered historically. Like, it's crazy. So I mean,
how do you feel about that being your Thanksgiving game now?
It doesn't matter. I hate Arkansas. Like, I don't feel like a rivalry towards them like I do Kansas or Nebraska.
But they used to believe play LSU every year around that time.
Yeah, and they're all butthurt about not getting that anymore, but I don't care. It's whatever. At least it's a team that like makes my dick move a little bit.
Geographically, gives you a little bit of a rivalry. Yeah.
Like it's not like Vanderbilt or
like our Thanksgiving game now is Houston, I believe. I guess.
Yeah.
Sure.
But this is the conference realignment, right? So that's what it is. You just play teams you don't really care about anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So how do I feel? I feel almost nothing. I do dislike them more than most SEC teams, so I guess that's fine. I'm going to go under. I think I don't have a ton of faith in Pittman, but really it's just that the schedule's brutal. They'd probably win 10 games in the ACC.
I think it's going to come down to that Mizzou game, right? So I have them beaten, obviously, WCU, Kent State, BYU. I think they could probably beat A&M at home.
Yeah, I agree. That game, they could easily win that game.
By then, who knows with fucking Jimbo and Petrino going head-to-head.
Right.
Like, Petrino's calling plays, but, like, I think Jimbo's not going to take that lightly. Like, I think they're going to butt heads at one point.
It's gonna be a nightmare there. That is one of the most dysfunctional programs in college football right now.
And then you have fucking DJ Durkin calling the defense.
I mean, it's a nightmare over there.
Just the worst people on the sidelines.
It's like if you built a NFL super team out of everyone who's caught charges, you know what I mean, recently, and it's just like the all convict team.
I know.
And you're like, yeah, it'll be great because they're so good, but like the locker room is so fucking toxic that they can't win. That's A&M.
Yeah, I'm surprised Hugh Freeze didn't get in the mix here, or even an Art Briles.
For what?
Just bring him into A&M.
To A&M from Arkansas? Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go over with Arkansas. I think
it's right on the line.
I think they're gonna beat you at home. I'm sorry. Like last game, they'll go 7-5. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Next up, we have Kentucky. They're 24th in the preseason S&P rankings.
Yeah.
So take that with whatever grain of salt you want. And then they're over under 7 wins. They got Devin Leary coming in from NC State.
You can get a push on this.
Yeah. Ray Davis coming in from Vandy. They go to Athens, play Georgia. They get Tennessee and Alabama at home, and then they go to South Carolina. So those are their like tough games. I think they got a pretty easy schedule other than that. What are you thinking?
Yeah. I think they get over 7 easily. I think so. I mean, first off, their non-conference schedule is fucking awful.
Ball State, Eastern Kentucky, Akron,
and then to end the season with Louisville. So that's dog shit. They get Florida. They get a down Florida at home. I think that's a win. Vanderbilt win.
You don't buy Louisville this year with
just no.
With the XFL going?
No.
To Louisville?
No, nothing. Never. I think they maybe trip up at Mississippi State. I bet you they win at South Carolina. I think they might be a real ugly Spencer Rattler game.
I mean, Braun made fucking Purdue kind of relevant, right?
That's fine. Isn't it year one?
It is.
Later. I don't care right now.
But Satterfield made Louisville kind of competent too.
Kentucky is like so sturdy that I'm just going to lean on them over a first-year coach.
I mean, yeah, Mark Stoops, pencil him in for 7-8 wins a year.
If the
defense is always going to be solid.
Yeah, I think 7 is. I think you're going to get a push at worst because again, you get 4. I think you have 5 free wins on the schedule, really, with the 3 to start the season. No, the 4 to start the season with Vandy too. So they get basically a NFL preseason's worth of games.
One of their road games is Mississippi State, and who knows what fucking disarray they'll be in.
I think that's the game that they probably trip up in is at Mississippi State.
Man, I'm really down on Mississippi State this year.
Really? I guess so.
I mean, Leach died.
Leach being dead and everything.
Like, that wasn't really like
that's
factored into the plans of 2023.
They'll obviously lose at Georgia. I think Kentucky probably still beats them even at.
I think
Tennessee beats them still.
They'll beat your ass, like undoubtedly. They'll probably beat Florida.
Oh, we are. So everything I just said about Arkansas and Missouri, that Missouri and Kentucky. Kentucky is just like.
They whoop that ass.
Every bounce goes their way. They always beat. It's fucking horrible. So, yeah, I think Kentucky beats us for sure.
All right, I'm going to go over on Kentucky as well. Auburn, of course, Hugh Freeze coming in. What are we thinking? 6.5 is their over-under.
Yeah, in the SEC West.
Mm-hmm.
Let me check that schedule real quick. Start the season with UMass. Good Lord. UMass, Cal, Samford.
Yep. So there's 3-0.
Probably, yeah. They, I bet, lose. This team is not – they were a mess last year, and Hugh Freeze is a good coach, but I don't think he's going to necessarily turn it around.
They also catch New Mexico State week 11.
Good for them. So let's just look. Let's go backwards instead of picking wins here. How many losses do they have in their schedule? I don't think they win at Texas A&M.
No, they lose that game.
They're not going to beat Georgia, so there's 2. They're not going to beat LSU. There's 3. They're not going to beat Ole Miss.
They could beat Ole Miss.
No, they won't.
At home?
They won't. There's 4.
Ole Miss is.
I think.
They could beat Lane.
Yeah. There's 4. I don't think they're going to win at Arkansas. There's 5. I don't think they're going to beat Alabama. Yeah, I'm going under.
I mean, they got to go to Vandy, too, November 4th.
Honestly, maybe.
Vandy's actually going to surprise some people.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not even fucking joking. Yeah, I'm going under on Auburn.
You're selling Auburn.
Yeah.
Even though they're going to start 3-0.
They will start.
They have a guaranteed 4 wins on the schedule with New Mexico State at the end.
Yeah, but they also have a guaranteed 4 losses on the schedule.
They catch Mississippi State at home, so that's a win. 5, 6. I'm going to 6.5. Oof. I think they're exactly a 6-6 team, so I'll go under 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Peyton Thorne sucks. I don't know how he's a fucking starter in a major P5 program. Mizzou, I'll just hand it over to you. Over under 6.5. I'll let you cook.
Man, so much depends on the quarterback position. The defense was really good last year. The wide receiver room is great. The 2 biggest problems are our running backs are mid as fuck, and the offensive line. We got some good transfers in on the offensive line, but it really just depends on whether or not they can block for the running backs who are already not that great on their own. I was looking at the schedule trying to gas myself up about and get optimistic, and it really is just the type of thing where it's where the fuck are the wins? South Dakota, Middle Tennessee wins, no question.
I don't know if South Dakota's a guaranteed dub, you know?
They are an easy guarantee. What the fuck are you talking about? At home.
Was it South Dakota or South Dakota State?
South Dakota.
Okay. That's a dub. If it's South Dakota State, I don't know, man.
That's fine.
You don't just walk in and beat the Jackrabbits.
We played them first game of the year a couple years ago.
Yeah, they're feisty.
They were feisty, but
they win the FCS all the time sometimes.
All right.
Well, not all the time, but they're in the mix.
6.5 is right on the line for this because we have a road game against Memphis that I think we win, but that's not the best
Listen,
situation.
I'll give you credit. Drink is recruiting his ass off.
Drink is recruiting. So I'm saying it really all depends on this K-State game, which I think we have a real shot of winning just depending because
you're at home. You should win that game.
Because it's at home and because it's a former conference rival, people are going to get up for that game. It really just depends on the quarterback play. The thing with the K-State game, too, is last year, and we are not going to talk about K-State because they start the season ranked, but K-State, very lucky last year. In general, they won a lot of one-score games last year, which is not something. One-score games in college football is the equivalent to fumble recoveries in football, where it's all you really have very little control over winning close games like that. It's just sort of where the ball bounces.
Can I give you an absolute trap spot?
Sure.
Especially after that, a letdown spot.
Yeah.
That Memphis game.
I said that Memphis is not going to be easy. I think that is a rough game. I don't love going there.
No.
They're not bad. They're not a bad program.
No, Seth Hennigan's been in the system for the last 2 years, so you got to go against a pretty competent quarterback.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. But the K-State game last year at K-State, one thing, people will look at that score and see a blowout, and they're correct. But it really wasn't. It was really only one side of the ball for Missouri that got blown out, and it was the offense. K-State, I think, God, they had a pick six, they had a punt return for a touchdown, and they had 3 touchdowns off of turnovers, I think inside the 30.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It was short field after short field, or they just scored right away. They really didn't move the ball on our defense when they had to take a whole field. So I think we're more than capable than people think of winning that K-State game. It all probably hinges on two games. The K-State game, or if we lose that, the Memphis game, and then beating Florida at home.
You got to go to Vandy too.
Look, if there was ever a game we would fuck up, it's that. But let's say we don't beat K-State. 1, 2, 3.
I'm not seeing
4.
7 wins here. There's not. 5. Way under. Sorry.
6.
Because
I see.
Even if I give you the Kansas State game, I don't see 7.
I
wins
see
here.
between 6 and 7. It really depends on. I mean, do we beat South Carolina at home and do we beat Arkansas on the road? I think under is a safe bet here. I'm taking the over, but I mean.
You guys going to
It's
Athens?
tight. I mean, 6.5
You're gonna knock off Georgia?
What?
You're going to knock off Georgia in Athens?
Our only win against
2
Georgia
Hedges?
is in Athens, but, who knows? If we muck it up again, I
Yeah.
guess.
We got Florida next, 20th in the preseason S&P rankings for some reason. Vegas does not buy it, though. Over-under is 5.5. They don't think they're going to make a bowl game.
Yeah, that's...
Graham Mertz coming in from Wisconsin, getting a fresh start. Billy Napier's doing a pretty good job recruiting, but, again, this might be a year early. Still got to get his guys in the system, be upperclassmen.
Dude, under all the way. This schedule's brutal.
It's
Without
bad.
even talking about the tough games against unranked teams, I mean, Utah, Tennessee.
Going to Utah, that's tough.
Tennessee at LSU. They catch Florida State. And then you have road games against Kentucky, South Carolina, and Missouri. Like, it's just – no, there's not 6 wins there.
Not to mention Biff Poggi, Charlotte.
Sure. I know you like –
Been talking all kinds of
boys.
smack. He's been saying they're sleeping on us. They're sleeping on Niner Nation.
Yeah. God, and they get Arkansas coming to them. They're so far under 5.5 wins. Like, that's going to be rough.
McNeese State they beat Charlotte for sure. Probably beat Vandy at home, although that's not a given. Man. Yeah, they got to close out with Florida State.
It's
that's going to be a bloodbath.
This schedule is fucking horrific. You just got to put your head down, let your boys get your reps, get those reps, and keep.
Jake's going to be so down all year. He might not even show up to software history.
Yeah, he's gonna be so depressed.
We record on Sunday nights. He's going to be.
He's a college,
manic.
He's a college baseball fan now.
Florida's a baseball school now.
Yeah. That's rough.
I hope they give Napier a chance though.
Oh, I think they will. They should.
They should. Just give him a couple of years. Let him get his guys in.
I don't like the 3 years and get the fuck out unless it's a really, really bad 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like
he came in and everything was dry.
Yeah.
They didn't like to recruit before.
Mullen did. Mullen hates recruiting. Yeah.
And then to close out the SEC, Mississippi State, 23rd in the preseason S&P, over under 6.5 wins. Will Rogers is back, but apparently Zach Arnett is not going to do the air raid system. Doesn't want to kind of follow Mike Leach's footsteps. He says there'll never be another Mike Leach, so he's going to try to recreate his offense.
I mean,
a little more running.
You shouldn't just try to do a bad impression of someone else's offense. As long it's really I mean, as long as it's not like
yeah,
really,
but you got Will Rogers who's been in that system for a couple of years. You would think he would just try to gravitate towards maybe for this one season with the quarterback will not.
I don't
completely
know.
Flip the script.
Honestly, I'll say this. So I watched a really similar situation at Mizzou with Drew Lock going from a Heupel offense to a Derek Dooley offense, and with way more running and a lot everything's less passing than a Heupel offense. I thought the best Lock looked better that year than he ever did under Heupel. I think Rodgers is gonna be fine. So I like that. I like that about Mississippi State, and I like that about Will Rogers. What is it, 6.5?
Yeah, I'm seeing 4 wins.
I mean, this is the SEC West, so I think they beat Arizona at home in the second game.
Right. They're beating Western Michigan. They'll beat the fucking FCS school, Southeast Louisiana. Man, Southern Miss they'll beat, but I'm not seeing a lot of SEC wins here.
This schedule could go so far either way. Right? Like, they're going to lose to LSU. They're going to lose to Bama. But and they'll probably
they catch Kentucky at home at least.
Yeah. I think they could beat A&M, but that's such a coin flip of a game because who knows how A&M will be. They could beat Ole Miss because that's at home for the Egg Bowl, but Ole Miss could be really fucking good or really fucking shitty. Like,
Ole Miss could be just like in a complete nosedive at that point.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I'll say this.
Because, I mean, Lane is just so, like, high risk. They're
Yeah.
volatile. Ole Miss is very volatile. Especially, they have 3 quarterbacks right now that are just competing. Like, Jackson Dart's probably going to win the starting job, but Spencer Sanders is there for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, someone's got to win games in the SEC, aside from the couple big boys, right? But I think you're always safer with a question mark team like Mississippi State taking the under, especially in the SEC West.
Mississippi State, best case, I think 6 wins, right?
No. Mississippi State, best case?
Yeah.
Shit, dude. No. They can
I'm
win
seeing like
1,
4 or 5
2,
wins here. They're not winning
3,
7 games.
4,
I'll just put my stamp on. They will not win 7 games.
5, 6.
Where are you getting 7?
7, 8. They could win 9 games.
In what world?
They could win 9 games. They beat Southeast Louisiana. They beat Arizona. They're losing to LSU every time.
Yep.
They could beat South Carolina. I don't know what South Carolina is going to look like. That game is a fucking question mark. They're not going to beat Bama.
South Carolina's going to be good.
Western Michigan they can beat. They could beat Arkansas on the road. This Arkansas team under Pittman, even with all this talent, has been absolutely like inconsistent.
You think they're going to go to both South Carolina and Arkansas?
They're going to beat Auburn on the road.
This is.
They could beat Kentucky
insanity.
at home.
No.
They could beat A&M on the road. I'm not saying
they could knock off Kentucky at home. I get that. Yeah.
They'll beat Southern Miss and they could beat Ole Miss. This team could win 9 games, man.
That's your bold prediction. We'll just get to that right now. Bold prediction. Rob thinks Mississippi State's going to win 9 games.
I don't think they're going to, but I think it's on the table. Like this they could win 3 games or they could win 9 games. It really depends.
I think 6-6 best case. So I'm gonna hammer the under on that.
I'll take the over. I'll just say fuck it and take the over, even though I just said it's
all right.
Sketch.
So wrapping up the SEC, let's move to the other big boy conference that apparently the only conferences that matter, the Big Ten.
Yeah, these are the only 2 conferences that really matter, pretty much. But
Minnesota, PJ Fleck coming under some heavy fire for his toxic culture after what was revealed at Northwestern.
They said it was a cult. It was
yeah,
cult-like.
We've called PJ Fleck the Tony Robbins of college football for a long time now.
Now, he said he is basically, from what I understand, his coaching style is, how's everybody doing this morning? Oh, come on, we can do better than that.
Yeah. No, he's making his players walk on like fire coals.
Well, they also said that if he walked, he would demand to get applause when he walked into the locker room, and if it wasn't good enough, he'd walk back out and come back in and get it.
Is that even hazing at this point?
That is so much more mentally damaging than like actually making a naked person roll
Positive
on
reinforcement is more damaging than actually hazing.
No, positive. Forcing someone to clap for you. That would make me so much angrier than having hot coals like thrown at me.
It's like going to a morning show and you just see the applause sign.
Yeah. That would fill me with so much more rage.
Over under 7. Obviously they are in the Big Ten West. So much easier road. Their big games, they got to go to UNC. They got to host Michigan and Wisconsin, and they got to go to Iowa and Ohio State. Man, I think right there, that's 5 losses right there.
You think they're going to lose to UNC?
I do. At North Carolina and Chapel Hill?
Yeah.
North Carolina's still competent. They're still good. It's still Mac Brown.
Minnesota's competent as well, though. But I just don't.
If that game's in Minnesota, yeah, I would take Minnesota, but I think UNC probably wins that pretty easily. Or, yeah, I'm just looking at it. So right there, 5 losses off the bat. So you got to think they run the table the rest of the schedule if you want to even push.
You go under all the way there. I think they could beat UNC, but even still, they probably end up fucking up against someone else. I actually think they beat Iowa. Iowa is just. I have no faith in Iowa.
So Iowa,
I'm glad they're ranked because I don't want to talk about them.
They always have a great defense, like an all-world defense.
Right.
Last year, if you just combined, I think Iowa's defense and even maybe Minnesota's offense, it would have been like a Big Ten contender.
Yeah. Yep.
That had to be so infuriating to be on defense, giving up like 13 points a game, and your offense just can't
That's
score.
the worst type of team to have to watch.
Uh-huh.
By far. I would much rather watch a high-powered offense with a defense that couldn't fucking stop a toddler.
Now I believe Ferentz just hired his son as the OC.
Perfect.
So that's good.
Perfect.
Nepotism.
Finally got some offense in there. There's offense runs in their blood, so.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't get enough credit, though. He gets these 1 and 2 stars and turns them into NFL talent. He's a really good coach.
He's like a really good coacher of men.
Leader of men. Yeah.
He's not a
He's the real Herm Edwards.
He's not a winner, I guess.
He's always good. You pencil him in every year or every 5 years for like a 10-win season.
Yeah.
And like threaten to win the Big Ten.
Okay.
But is Iowa going to do better than Kirk Ferentz? No.
Nah.
Who wants that job?
Not really. I mean, it's a good job.
It's thankless.
You can make a college football playoff at Iowa. In the West?
Can you?
Yeah, 100%. Iowa.
Not with Wisconsin now. And Illinois. You got Bird at Illinois.
Yeah. We can just talk about them. But what was the over-under on? Oh, no,
7.
we're not even talking about Iowa, thank God. Yeah, let's get to Illinois. We're right there.
No, we're at Minnesota still. Over under 7, so we went
under.
Okay.
We're in agreement. Under.
All right. Illinois, over under 6.5. That's super low to me.
Yes.
You got Burt back in his element, the Big Ten. I mean, their big games are like at Kansas. They're going to beat Kansas, first off. They're going to just run it down Kansas' throat.
They're going to beat the brakes off Kansas. Here's my
They
spike.
get Penn State at Wisconsin at home, and then they got to go to Iowa City.
I think they're going to upset one of those two teams, either Wisconsin or Penn State, and I think it's Penn State.
Yeah. Well, I think Wisconsin. I think Penn State probably beats
Wisconsin's
Illinois.
on shakier ground as a program right now.
Right.
But Penn State, just like, it depends on, I guess, if they have an offense.
I don't buy Penn State as a top 10 team, but I do buy Penn State as like a top 15, 20 team.
Yeah, but I think Illinois is a top 20 team.
I do too. Dude, I've been hitting the Burt fucking drum for the last 2 years.
I think Illinois is going to win a lot of games. First off, they're going to start 2-0 and then 3-1.
Toledo, Kansas. They get FAU.
There is a no bullshit chance, and I know I know you're high on Penn State, but 2, 3.
I'm not high on Penn State though.
6.
Compared to like the rest of the country, I'm not.
Dude, I mean, it's not that crazy to think Illinois starts 7 or 8-0.
Although, should we be worried about that FAU game? You know who the fucking head coach is of Florida Atlantic now?
Is it the Florida State guy?
No.
Who is it now?
Dude, it's piss chart. It's Tom Herman.
Oh! Sling it.
Changing cultures, baby.
Yeah. I think, man.
If you're peeing brown, you're a bad guy. No, Illinois, I think, easily gets over 6.5 wins, though.
Man.
This is Burt Ball 101.
Dude, it's so crazy. Like,
this team
is
what he's made for.
This could be like a 2-loss team, 1-loss team if everything goes right.
Like, best case scenario, they beat Toledo, they beat Kansas. I think they lose Penn State no matter what. Although it is at home, it's in Champaign, so they could. All right, so let's say best case. They beat Penn State. They beat Florida Atlantic. They beat Purdue. Purdue stinks. Nebraska, they get at home. They beat Nebraska. Maryland's going to be tough.
Game.
That's a trap game because it's a week before Wisconsin. Yeah, dude, they could win 9 games.
They could win 9 or 10 games on this schedule because they're going to beat Indiana. They're going to beat Northwestern.
Mm-hmm.
At Iowa sucks. Like, that's.
I think this might be my lock. Like, lock in Illinois
to the
over
Big Ten.
6.5 wins.
It could be in the Big Ten championship game.
This is the most confident I've ever felt, though, with over-under. Why is Vegas so down on Burt?
I don't know.
Do they not understand?
I'm smashing that. That's crazy to me.
Give me the over on Illinois.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we'll finish up the Big Ten with Nebraska.
Okay.
Matt Rule, back in college.
Love that for him.
Over under 6 wins. They host Michigan and Iowa, and they're at Wisconsin and Illinois. Those are their tough games. What are you thinking? They also got to go to Colorado.
Soft schedule.
I know.
They're going to beat Colorado.
Could they lose to Colorado?
No.
To Dion?
I will actually maybe because that is a big. Colorado fans will probably get up for that game. This is the game. This is maybe the one game that Dion could put a feather in his cap. But Matt Rule has got to be like such a better coach than Deion Sanders, I would imagine.
3, 4.
What was it? 6 on the dot.
6 on the dot.
Their schedule sucks. Michigan State blows. Purdue sucks. Northwestern is a fucking nightmare. How's Louisiana Tech this year?
They're okay. Like, they're fine.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to lose.
I mean, no,
Minnesota.
it's at Nebraska. Nebraska. If they lose to Louisiana Tech,
Yeah.
Lincoln will burn.
Yeah.
Like, they have to beat Louisiana Tech. I think 6 might be exactly right. I would say 5-7, 6-6. So I would go under.
They're gonna, man, 6 is right on the dot because I think they're going to get to 6 by November 4th, but then their last 3 games are Maryland, Wisconsin, and Iowa, and I don't know that they have a single win on that. They get Iowa at home.
Yeah. Again, Iowa's so volatile.
Yeah.
Depending on if they can score, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to be taking so many unders on Iowa this year.
Take them all.
I can't wait.
I actually love the under on Penn State, Illinois, for that matter, whatever it is.
Yeah. That's a slugfest. Just three yards in a cloud of dust.
Basically, yeah.
We're going to go to the Big 12 next.
Your conference.
Team I'm kind of high on this year, Texas Tech.
Okay.
Over under 7.5 wins. Second year of Joey McGuire. He went 8-5 last year, and their first winning season in the Big 12 play since Mike Leach in 2009.
Jesus Christ.
It's been grim in Lubbock.
Yeah. I do not love how they start their season.
What are you not liking?
That you got a spooky game at Wyoming.
That is spooky.
And
Why
then,
the fuck are they going to Wyoming?
dude, Wyoming does that. Missouri had to play at Wyoming a couple years ago. They're like, we'll play you, but it's got to be a home and home. We're motherfucking Wyoming.
That game's weird.
And then you got Oregon.
Although, if you're from Lubbock, though, does going to middle of nowhere Wyoming really scare you?
I guess it's less spooky to you. If you live in one haunted house, what's going to another one?
A little bit more elevation,
Yeah.
perhaps.
It's still fucky. So at Wyoming, and then Oregon comes to
They catch
them.
Oregon at home? That is a really odd schedule. Just out of conference. They probably lose to Oregon. Although it's in Lubbock, so you never know.
You never know. But I think they should be happy with 1-1.
They
in the
catch
first
Kansas
two.
State at home. They catch UCF at home. Got to go to Kansas. Got to go to Tech or
They
Texas.
get TCU at home as well.
Uh-huh. They got to go to BYU, too. They got to go to all these spooky spots.
I know. They got to go to Baylor and West Virginia.
Okay. Maybe I'm not so high on Tech
I don't
this year.
think 8 wins is in the fucking cards for these guys.
Tyler Shuck coming back, transferred from Oregon a couple of years ago. I believe played like 7 games for fucking Tech last year. Went off against Oklahoma, but who didn't last year?
Yeah. I mean, look, Wyoming too, by the way, was a bowl team last year. They got murdered at Illinois, but they went to Tulsa and beat Tulsa. They beat Air Force. They gave BYU a bit of a game. And it was at BYU. That's a tough game. I think they should be very happy if they get through those first 2 games 1-1.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 7-5 actually, so I'll go under on
Yeah,
this.
I like the under on that. It's just that's a tough schedule.
Big 12 is gonna be so fun this year. It's just there's probably not gonna be any elite teams in the Big 12.
No,
We're just
it's gonna be wacky.
We're gonna cannibalize ourselves.
Oh yeah,
for sure. I mean, our best chance of probably going to the playoff is Texas, if I was to guess, because you can lose to Alabama. But
yeah,
then
unfortunately
run the table.
we don't get to talk about Oklahoma because they start the season ranked. But
we will talk about Oklahoma pretty soon.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Whatever their over under wins on the season
I
are.
believe I saw it was like 8.5 or 9.
Let's just fuck that. I'm going through the schedule. They're going to be on.
They're about to be on outside the top 25 pretty soon. So
let's just go through this real quick. Oh, one of my bold predictions for this year was that SMU beats OU at OU.
that's not happening.
That's happening.
In the world.
SMU is better than people think.
SMU's okay, but they're not. If you're gonna give us, why don't you say UCF beats Oklahoma to Oklahoma?
That's not as bold.
It's
I
kind
thought
of
you wanted bold.
Okay.
They're gonna beat Arkansas State. They're gonna lose to SMU.
They gotta go to Tulsa.
They go back and forth because it's a in-state rivalry.
I know.
Tulsa stinks though. Tulsa's really bad. Let's just say they start 3-0. Let's say they start
They gotta go to BYU.
4-0, 5-0. Well, they could start 5-0.
Gotta go to Stillwater.
They could start 5-0 with everything. Iowa State at OU. Then they play Texas, who they will lose to. They
They'll lose
play
to Texas.
UCF, who I think they'll lose to. They'll beat Kansas.
See, I think we're gonna be solid this year, but I don't know if we can beat Oklahoma at Norman.
Dude,
You have to factor home field means so much in college football.
I get that. It's not the same as college basketball, but I get that. It's just that, like, OU stunk last year.
Because they didn't have a quarterback. Dylan Gabriel got hurt like week 3.
Was he even that good, though?
But yeah, he is. He is.
What was he doing?
I hate to say it because he's a total fucking hater of Mackenzie Milton.
Yeah.
And the reason he got ran out of UCF is because he was like, oh, nobody loves me as much as they love Mackenzie Milton. I'm such a little bitch.
Skeet.
But he is a decent quarterback. He puts up numbers. But they literally didn't have a backup. Like, they came in to Norman. They came in training camp. They didn't have a fucking backup quarterback. They were running like a fucking tight end or fullback at quarterback for most of the season. They had to run the Wildcat for a game.
What is their over-under? I got to see this.
So it's like, is Gabriel – did they at least get somebody to back up Gabriel? Because Gabriel's a tiny little man.
Yeah. Man, their over-under is 9.5 wins. So it's, do you think they'll win double-digit games?
And it's not an easy schedule.
No. Do they have 10 wins on the schedule? Let's just be optimistic here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
They do.
5-1.
It's not that hard.
6-1, 7-1.
They're going to beat SMU. They'll beat Arkansas State. They'll beat Tulsa. They'll beat Cincinnati.
9-1.
They'll beat Iowa State.
They do have, yeah.
They'll lose to Texas. They'll lose to TCU.
There's not a lot of losses on the schedule. I'll give them that. They actually have a pretty favorable
They might
schedule.
lose to BYU because just
Yeah.
weird shit happens.
I'm telling you, SMU, baby.
But, I mean, Oklahoma State, I think, is going to be an atrocity this year. Like, truly.
Yeah.
I think Gundy might just quit. Like, he might just leave.
It's going to be real bad.
And
if you think they're going to get up and play hard for Bedlam because OU's betraying them, let me tell you something about college football and conference realignment. There is no God, and there is no justice.
with that said, I know they're ranked because, they got on the Beaver bandwagon last year with me, and they're riding that Jonathan Smith train all the way here. But would there be anything funnier than Oregon State winning the Pac-12 this year?
Oh, I'm rooting for that. Completely.
Like, nobody wants us, but fuck it.
I can't wait for that to happen.
It is essentially what you and Dan said, the major league syndrome.
Yeah.
It's like, let's just win the whole damn thing.
Let's win the whole fucking thing.
Next up, Kansas over under 6 wins. How you feeling about that?
Under.
I think it might be just an exact push. If I wish they would allow us to bet that. Like, they should give you odds.
Oh, for the push.
For the push.
All right, so let's look at this schedule here. I think it's under. They beat Missouri State certainly. Lose to Illinois 1-1.
Although my bold prediction that we'll get to later, Kansas doesn't make a bowl game, so I think they go 5-7. But I think the value on a push would be funny.
What do you think? How's Nevada this year? They have to play at Nevada.
Nevada's never really good.
Okay, I still think they're gonna slap dick around. But let's say
it's
they
not
win
like Carson
that. 2-1.
Strong's walking through that door.
Yeah, they might even get to 3-1 against BYU, but then it's Texas 3-2, UCF 3-3. I guess Oklahoma State sucks, but it's on the road. I kind of like Oklahoma State there, 3-4. OU kills them 3-5. At Iowa State 3-6.
I think they just regress back to the means. That's really it. It's just
7,
Kansas
8.
overachieved the first 6 games last year, and then they got slapped in the face.
They'll be lucky to get 5 wins under.
I think they're 5-17.
I think 5 is the ceiling.
Oklahoma State over under 6.5 wins. I think they implode.
Okay.
He's a man. He's almost 50, I think. He's got to be over 50 at this point, right?
He's got to be like 52, 53, I bet.
Yeah, he's 56. Holy shit.
Woo.
That was 16 years ago.
Oh, man.
I'm 40. Iconic.
Better days.
Yeah, I think he's going to end up – I think they implode. Here's my bold prediction. Gundy is your next pundit on OAN.
He's in the sports department?
Yeah.
Sports through Christ. God. Let's talk about your boys.
Okay.
How do you feel about UCF this year?
Over under 7 wins. I think we're a year early.
7 or 7.5?
7.
Okay.
I think we're a year early. I think we're recruiting our dicks off right now. We have Gus. Like I've said, we have a top 15 coach in the sport. We got the best recruiting state in the country, Florida. We're now getting some P5 recruits. We're getting guys. We're getting 4 stars, like high 4 stars.
How do you do against? What? It's 7 on the dot. Do you think you go over or under? I'm not seeing a ton of like outright losses on this schedule. There's one game that worries me.
I will say I am in favor of Gus giving up the play calling.
I think that at this day and age is for the best.
Yeah,
for any head coach.
I think so too.
Like I just think you shouldn't be doing that anymore.
I think he run his schemes, run what he needs to do, but like he would get kind of repetitive with his play calling. A lot of bubble screens.
Yeah, it just always seems to things get better when the coach gives up the play calling. Drink did that too this year. Fine, like it's
so we got Darren Hinshaw calling plays, former UCF.
Great.
I wouldn't say great.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna focus on like improving the pass game. We got a stable of running backs. We got RJ Harvey's back, Johnny Richardson as a speedster, DeMarcus Bowman, former 5-star running back. I believe he transferred from I think Clemson and then Florida. So now he's on his 3rd school.
Okay. It looks like you have 7 wins on the schedule outright.
It all really depends, man. It's all John Rice Plumlee based.
Yeah.
I think our defense is solid, although T. Will Gowen's kind of a big hit. We're kind of unproven with the corners and safeties. The front's going to be good, but linebackers are kind of mid.
Yeah.
We'll probably give up a lot of points. We'll be a Big 12 team.
That's what you're
I
born
think we're
to
going to put up points. We're
Okay.
probably going to not stop a whole lot of teams. 7 wins is tough. We got to go to fucking Boise.
Going to Boise. So that's the spooky one, right? That's I think that this over-under might hinge
But Boise has to go Washington, UCF. That's tough for them.
That is. I feel like you're going to be better off if Boise beats Washington.
1,000%.
Like if Boise loses to Washington, they're not. That's going to be.
We got to open up with the team that gave Georgia their best game last year, Kent State. Villanova's no slouch, you know?
Oh, all right, calm down.
No. I think we get fucking destroyed in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Little Apple. My ex-girlfriend gets revenge.
Yeah, finally.
I think Oklahoma's a loss. Thankfully, we don't have to go to West Virginia. We get West Virginia at home, so I think we could beat them.
It's really, I think
Cincinnati's going to be down, but going to Cincinnati's not fun.
Houston sucks.
Oklahoma State's going to be a disaster.
Lubbock's going to be kind of the linchpin.
I think we lose in Lubbock.
Okay.
So, and we got to go to Kansas, so that's kind of a coin toss.
That's not a coin toss. You're going to roll Kansas.
I like that. I like that enthusiasm.
You're going to roll Kansas.
I think 7's on the dot. I think 7 and 5's our year.
But give me over or under.
We'll go over.
Okay.
Be optimistic.
One's going to fall your way.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I think worst case 7 wins, right?
All right, yeah.
Let's move on to a conference that might not exist soon. The ACC.
It's so funny that like zombie Big 12 is going to outlive like all of these like 100-year-old conferences.
Because they made the right strategic play and pivoted to a basketball conference. We are easily the best basketball conference in the country.
Oh yeah. Also though, the other thing you need to be doing all the time is just adding. Always add.
Yeah.
Never sit still.
Although I don't want Stanford, I don't want Cal.
You just take whoever. Doesn't matter.
I don't want those schools. I don't want Washington State. I'll take Oregon State because I'm a Beaver guy. But ACC, we got Miami over under 7.5 wins. DVD's back after again a disappointing season. Cristobal's got his guys a little bit. They're starting to like hit their stride recruiting, but
this is an easy under for me.
You just always fade Miami.
Yeah, I do for sure. But I mean, like they really do have a lot of losses on their schedule. I think A&M.
They got a lot of studs on the defensive side.
I think A&M comes in and beats them.
I think their defense is gonna be like elite.
All right. I think they lose to both UNC and Clemson. They're obviously not going to beat Florida State. And that does it, right? That's maybe there's one more I'm missing, but like it really is like how many losses here? 1, 2, 3. Oh, they're not at NC State. I feel like is a loss. 4, and then Miami, Florida State 5. I feel like there's 5 like solid losses on this schedule.
Yeah. The A&M game I think is a coin toss.
Okay.
I think that's going to be just an ugly.
Look,
ugly
I
game.
don't have much more faith in A&M than I have in fucking Miami.
Yeah. I will also go under, I think. Yeah. So it's just Miami. They just whenever you have a little bit of expectations, you always fail to reach them.
Yo, always.
That one year where they were the turnover chain team.
Was that with Richt?
No,
Mark Richt went there, or was that right
was
after?
Manny.
Okay. People did love that turnover chain.
Or was Manny the defense coordinator?
I don't know.
It might have been with Richt.
I think
it was
Richt.
Mark Richt, and I think Manny Diaz was the D coordinator.
Yeah.
That was a magical season.
People loved it.
I think they won 9 games.
I think they won 10 games actually, but it was like a soft.
And then they
10.
got rolled by Wisconsin in the bowl game.
Yeah, something like that. They got exposed pretty badly. I think they got fucked up in the ACC championship game as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just
Next up, Pitt over under 7
I feel like Pitt is one of the schools you're randomly an expert on.
with Narduzzi.
Yeah.
Well, Slovis is gone.
I know.
I was high on Slovis. He disappointed me significantly last year.
Yeah.
He's now at BYU. That's now Slovis's 3rd or 4th school.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh yeah, I remember because Missouri
went to USC.
Missouri was in on him in the offseason. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know anything about Pitt, but it feels like they're always. I mean, I guess didn't they make an ACC championship game a couple years ago? They gave Tennessee a tough game a couple years ago, but I don't know.
They got the kid from Boston College coming in. He's like a redshirt senior. That's not really going to get your rocks off.
I can tell you that I'm not really excited to watch any Pitt games this year.
But those jerseys, those throwback,
they are some of the best in college football. I was actually about the other day. My favorite color combo is blue and yellow.
Blue and yellow, but kind of like not a baby blue, but like a lighter blue.
Yeah.
Just like the Pitt.
Not
I think
full,
the Pitt throwbacks are the best.
Yes.
They might not even be their throwbacks at this point. They might just be their uniforms.
It should be their full ones. They need to cut it with the navy and gold shit.
Navy sucks.
I don't, yeah.
As a color. And as a rank, I don't know.
As a branch of the
branch in the military.
With Pitt, I feel like under. Just fuck it, under. They're Pitt.
But it's the ACC, Narduzzi could just squeak out 7 wins.
Yep, I agree.
Because if you look at it, they do have to go to West Virginia. That's not easy.
Yeah, backyard brawl, baby.
What is Virginia Tech this year?
Trash.
They got to be improved, right?
Those Virginia teams are all fucking garbage right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go under actually. I'm gonna go Pitt's a 6-6 team.
All right.
Yeah. NC State over under 7 too, and then Louisville. We'll just do NC State and Louisville together. Over under for Louisville's 8.
Jesus Christ, who does Louisville play? That they could be 8 wins.
Again, man, people love Braum.
It just feels premature. It just feels fucking premature. All right, let's see. Georgia Tech's terrible. Sure, they can beat Georgia Tech. Murray State, 2-0. Indiana, all right, 3-0. Boston College at Louisville. I'll give them the edge, 4-0. I think Louisville loses to NC State, 4-1. Loses to Notre Dame, 4-2. At Pitt, we'll call that a loss, 4-3. Duke probably beats them, 4-4. Virginia Tech, sure, 5-4. Louisville, 6-4. Louisville with Virginia. I don't know about Miami. We'll say at Miami, it's a 6-5.
Brahms reunited with Jack Plummer.
This is under. This is an under. Absolute under.
All right.
Yeah.
What about NC State?
Isn't there? You said 7.
7. I'll go over NC State, and I'll go.
Yeah, I like the over on NC State too.
I'll go push on Louisville.
I like the over on NC State. NC State also has a pretty squishy non-con. They catch Connecticut, VMI, Marshall.
UConn is not just gonna fucking.
I get it. I get that. I know.
Get rolled.
I know our boys there. I get it.
More is there.
I know.
What if they just get really good as they're transitioning into the FCS?
That's what I want.
They just start winning natties in the FCS. All right, let's go to the Pac-12. Let's finish it up. Pac-12 and G5. We're already well over an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do UCLA, Chip, 21st in the preseason S&P rankings, over under 8.5. I'm sorry. I would hammer 6.5. I think UCLA is going to be good this year.
Yeah, kind of a tough opener with Coastal, but I mean they look like they are probably 3-0 to start the season.
Is it on the West Coast though?
Coastal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to roll Coastal.
Okay.
Coastal's not a
I
problem.
think they're going to win. I'm just saying it's not a total pushover. To
Coastal
start the season.
fooled everybody because of that 1 year,
Yeah.
that magical season. But they're squishy.
3-0. They'll lose at Utah. 4-1, 5-2, 6-2, 7-2, 8-2, 9-2.
But of course, Chip keeping quarterback.
They're going to win 10
close
games.
to the vest.
This is a 10-win team.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Just gonna run the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think UCLA might. Here's my bold prediction: UCLA wins the Pac-12.
Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna say they beat USC.
All right. That would be funny. But, I mean, they're both leaving, so it would just be funny because Lincoln Riley is the most overrated coach in college football.
It's going to be it's a 3, I think, headed race between UCLA, USC, and probably Utah.
Yeah. I think Oregon State's a dark horse to win it.
I'm not buying it. Like, I love my bees, but, like, Oregon State's not. We'll be talking about Oregon State pretty soon.
Yeah.
They're not going to win the conference. They're going to be a really tough out. They're going to be an 8-win team. But, like, that requires them to win games outside of Corvallis.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Colorado, over under 3.5.
I actually
Deion.
think the over. I just looked at the schedule. I like them to win 4 games.
Me too. I think Deion, just culture change, man. He's the swag alone.
The swag is going to push them to that 4th win. They're going to win one game that maybe, not necessarily they shouldn't in terms of like an upset, but they'll win one game that former lifeless Colorado would have just rolled over and died on.
And it's the fucking Pac-12. Like, these teams just lose.
Yeah, they do.
Because they'll lose to TCU, sure. They get Nebraska at home. That's a winnable game, I think.
It is a winnable game, but I think Nebraska.
They'll beat Colorado State. They'll lose to Oregon. They'll lose USC. Arizona State stinks.
The only reason I maybe don't like them to win that is because it's on the road.
It's in Tempe, but is that really a home field advantage?
No, it's not. But
especially by them
to
when
be
Arizona
fair,
State's like 2-4.
Aside from the elevation, Boulder's not really a home field advantage either.
Well, Tempe's kind of got the elevation, right?
Yeah, they do too. Yeah.
They'll beat Stanford, maybe.
Yep. No, Stanford sucks. I think they'll beat Stanford. I think that's a swag game.
That's a swag game.
Yeah.
They swag all over Stanford, yeah. That's just when the athletes come out.
Right.
Yeah. Lose to UCLA. Lose Oregon State on the road.
They're losing.
Colorado, Washington State, Utah. All right. There's 4 wins there.
Yeah.
That's 4 wins.
I think about on the dot 4 wins.
All right. And then just some G5 programs, UTSA, Troy, Boise, Coastal, JMU. Out of that group, who do you like? Or even if you have another team, you like SMU, I guess.
I do like SMU a lot. I think JMU is just going to become like a fucking G5 powerhouse.
They should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think JMU is – I would – man, I would buy so much JMU stock. That's
wasn't last year their first year, and they were great, but they were bowl ineligible because they had to go through this like weird transition window.
JMU is like a penny stock is going to get to like $50 a share.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's I love JMU, but I also like SMU a lot. SMU had a really good end to the season last year. They weren't left like totally barren when Sonny Dykes left. Like they did a good job recovering quickly from that sort of like rapid departure. And SMU, by the way, kind of playing for their lives to be a G5 or to be a P5 team. Kind of playing as this season is a marketing situation for them.
I believe W is trying to recruit right now.
He is.
And he's like, hey, somebody at us.
Yeah, 100%.
He's like, Big 12.
Which is funny because he didn't go there. His wife went there.
You up, Big 12.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. And then Condi's obviously vouching for Stanford right now. She has so much power.
She does. In sports, but in particular.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Because, like, she was on the college football committee. She was the first female member at Augusta. I believe she was part of the...
Is she the most powerful woman in sports in America?
She was trying to buy the Broncos, I think, with, like, a ownership group.
Yeah.
I think she did. I think she might be part of
that ownership group?
I think she is.
That's sick. I like that she just loves
She has
sports.
so much influence.
Dude, she's kind of cool. She was on 30 Rock. She likes sports.
Whenever you have like a sports controversy, just throw in Condi.
Yeah, bring Condi in. It's all good.
Just to consult.
I'm into Condi.
I like Condi.
Yeah, I like her a lot. I'm into her.
I like W as like a sports guy too.
Yeah.
He should have just stayed.
He should have bought the Rangers.
He should have been the commissioner of MLB.
Oh, or that.
He shouldn't have been president.
Although
he
we
never
would have got the pitch clock under W.
True. He would make him longer.
He probably would have given straight up lifetime bans to Reuters too. I don't know if I want him as MLB commissioner actually.
Now that I think about it. All right, let's get to. I'm gonna go out of all those teams. I give me the JMU stock, but I think for this year, I think UTSA and Boise. Boise, I think could be really good this year.
Do work. I love UTSA's over under on the win count because it's so low.
8.5.
7.5 is what you wrote.
For UTSA.
UTSA.
Yeah. I think they smashed the over on that.
Yeah.
Boise's 8.5.
Totally. I think UTSA could push 10.
I think Boise could easily win 9 games.
Yeah.
Let's get to the bold predictions that'll make us look like morons by week 4.
Sweet. Maybe you, idiot.
I got Arizona and Vandy making a bowl game.
Okay. Well, Arizona was on the cusp. What is Vandy's schedule? I just wonder where 6 wins are.
I don't care.
Did we even talk about them in the SEC? Did we just skip them?
We skipped them.
Because it's like, what's the point? All right, they beat Hawaii, sure. They beat Alabama A&M, sure. At Wake Forest?
It's a toss-up. UNLV.
The Barry Odom's boys? Yeah. At UNLV's not.
They're going to beat UNLV.
All right,
Come
that's
on.
fine. They're losing to Kentucky. They're losing to Missouri. I don't care.
It's at Vandy.
They're losing to Florida. They're losing.
They beat Florida last year.
I know. They won't beat them again. They're losing to Georgia. They're losing to Ole Miss. Watch Auburn be the team they beat this year.
They could catch Auburn.
Vandy always catches one. I like it to be Auburn this
1,
year.
2. They're gonna be Wake. 3, 4. They're gonna beat one of these or 2 of these teams, right? They're gonna beat Florida, Missouri, Auburn. 2 of those 3 games are gonna win.
You have too much faith in South Carolina and not enough faith in Missouri. I think. I really mean that. Like I just South Carolina is so unimpressive to me. I get why people would think Missouri is unimpressive. Don't get me wrong. I have no illusions about that.
I'm not doing this as a bid either.
I know you're not. Yeah, I know. I just
don't
think,
respect Missouri.
I just think you can honestly disrespect Missouri, and that's fine. I just think you have too much faith in South Carolina. At the very least, I'll say this. Missouri being on that list is actually fine. It's just South Carolina should also be on that list.
I believe in Beamer. All right. Beamer ball,
right.
baby.
Okay. What else you got?
I think Kentucky beats Tennessee at home.
I love that. I think that's a very valid prediction.
Kansas does not make a bowl game.
Now, that shouldn't be a bold prediction, but Kansas's win over under makes it sound like they're getting a bowl, and they started the season with 10 AP votes, which is fucking insane.
Dumb. And then I'll give you one more.
Okay.
I think Boise beats Washington week 1.
All right. Washington's a little squishy.
All right, Boise beats Washington week 1, and then Washington just like runs the table. That'd be funny.
That'd be dope.
That'd just be hilarious.
I'd be into that. My bold predictions.
Do you think Penix is going to just put up video game numbers this year?
I think he's going to get Heisman. I think he might be in New York. He won't win, but I think he might be in New York.
It might be a good value. It's like 16, 17-1.
Aren't Marvin Harrison's stock betting numbers like insane?
It's 22-1. I smashed that, but because I think he's going to get so many balls thrown to him.
He's getting a ton of balls thrown to him, and also,
they don't have a quarterback name recognition, so like
there's not
that quarterback's not going to get the Heisman votes. They'll all go to Marvin Harrison.
And I think there's a little bit of maybe, how
quarterback
you like
fatigue.
Quarterback fatigue, yeah, the same way like Jokic fatigue or
we shouldn't. First off, the Heisman should not be considered like a legitimate award anyway.
Right.
Like you shouldn't care about it. Like, oh, I can't believe like Caleb Williams winning the Heisman last year. It didn't really matter.
No.
It was so inconsequential
to anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool for your school to get it for sure, but
it's cool to win as a quarterback. But like, it's essentially just become a quarterback award.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna bet that Marvin Harrison on. That's actually great. My 3 bold predictions. Number 1. Illinois starts the season 7-0. I think they upset Penn State.
Burt ball, baby.
Yeah, I think Illinois. I don't even think Illinois is going to be actually that good. I just think between the schedule and that Penn State has a sort of rough unit on the offensive side of the ball, that's just a good upset. And then from there, they have
I think they're going to be better on offense than you think. But
Illinois'
they could lose in
defense
Champaign. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, and Illinois' defense will be good too.
Yeah.
Second, SMU beats OU in Norman and wins the AAC. This is mostly me thinking that OU is still going to stink more than – I mean, I do like SMU too, obviously.
That is very bold.
Yeah, I'm trying to be bold.
I don't see that.
And I was looking at the schedule, and the way it shakes out, I think Maryland could win 10 games, including a bowl game. 10 games.
Little Tua.
Yeah.
Just slinging it.
Now, so at 9 regular season games and then a 10th win in the bowl, I think Maryland could have a 10-win season this year.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Maryland's going to cause some people some problems in the Big Ten.
And then to close things out, let's do our little snake draft of 7 teams from the not top 25.
Okay.
We'll do, again, snake draft. So whoever goes first, next person gets 2 picks. And then we'll do 7 total teams.
Each.
Yeah.
And
then best combined record at the end of the year wins.
Sweet. We'll have to figure out what to put.
We'll combine that. Yeah, we'll come up with some stakes for the next episode, I think.
Yeah.
And then we'll also combine that somehow. That'll have, I think, more precedent than our against the spread records.
Okay.
We'll still pick games.
Yeah.
Obviously, sponsored by MyBookie. But if you want our records for the last 2 years, 2 years ago, we were humming against the spread. I went 131, 108, and 4, so 54.8%.
Mm-hmm.
Right, real close to that magical 55 golden number
that you want.
You went 126, 125, and 4, 50.2%. Still respectable. You lost money, but
we're there.
We're there.
What is the not losing money, like 52%?
It really depends.
Yeah.
Like if you're, because most spreads are going to be minus 110.
Right.
Last year, kind of had a down year.
Not good.
I went 118, 101, and 4, so 52.9%. And then you went 95, 116, and 4.
Rough year last year.
44.186%.
Rough year. We're going to get back this year, though.
Yeah, so we'll continue to keep our records against the spread. Always be transparent with that. We're not touts. We're just dudes picking games.
Yeah.
And I think I'm doing a pretty decent job at it, especially for games that not a whole lot of people know anything about.
Exactly. Did you flip a coin? Do I need to flip a coin?
Do you have a coin?
I don't have a coin.
All right, here. We'll flip this.
All right, flip the coaster.
The coaster. Do you want DB or black?
Give me DB. Ah,
it's
fuck.
Black. I'm gonna go second.
You're gonna go second?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want those 2 picks back to back.
Okay, I
will give you the board. Any not top 25 team. Who you got?
I'm gonna start with UCLA.
Rob's going UCLA.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go. So there's a lot of strategies to this, right? Maybe name recognition, name brands, not what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you kind of dig deeper into those G5 programs.
I know. That's where you get like the easy 10 wins and stuff like that.
Yep.
I feel like maybe we should have had a stipulation on how many of each, but it's fine.
I'm going to go Memphis and let's go Boise.
Wow, you went real deep into the G5 there to start it out.
Oh wait, I got deeper.
Okay. So now I get 1 and you get 2 in a row.
You get 2.
I get 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Great. I'm gonna go Illinois.
Okay.
And I'll go JMU.
Okay, I like that. You got one of my picks off the board. That's fine. I'll go Western Kentucky and Liberty.
Liberty. All right.
Fine.
Oh, you did take Memphis. Memphis was one of mine. You took that one.
I know.
Okay. I am going to go another one of my picks of teams that could win a lot of games. Maryland. And I'll go San Jose State.
Are we doing the snake draft right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 1, 2, 2. It's just 2.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was 1-2, 1-1. Either way, we're doing it our own way.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, basically.
All right. So you have 5.
And you have 4.
I have 4 right now, so I picked 2. Let's go South Alabama.
All right.
And Air Force. I'm getting pretty much everything I wanted except JMU.
Sure. All right. That's fine.
So you make 2 picks and then I get the last pick.
Right. God, you took 2 Conference USA teams here? Look at you. All right. I'm going to go with... Man, and you took some Mountain West action. Fair enough.
There's a team we've talked about that's still on the board.
That both of us have talked about?
Uh-huh.
Wait. I'm on my draft page here. I wasn't on my draft page here. So I get 1, 2. I get 2 more picks, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And then I get the last pick.
I'm gonna go SMU.
You had to go there, yeah.
Yeah.
Be a little disappointed if you didn't take him.
And then I'll just say I don't. Fuck. Where's my draft list? There it is. I don't like any of those teams. I will go with, let's say, Coastal.
Okay. I'm going to go UTSA.
Oh, shit. How did I forget that?
Yep. So your team is UCLA, Illinois, JMU, Maryland, San Jose State. San Jose State?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
At first. Sure.
San Jose State.
Take San Jose State. You can have them. Ooh. SMU, Coastal. And then I have Memphis, Boise, Western Kentucky, Liberty, South Alabama, Air Force, and UTSA. What a squad. What a team. So, yeah, we'll come up with stakes for that. Give us, if you want, slide in the DMs. Give us some loser bets for that. Like some consequences for the person that comes in last place for that. And, yeah. Next episode, we'll probably make picks against
For
the spread
week
for
0?
week 0, week
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. But that's all I got, man.
See you fuckers later.